with Jr. In the news this week. In business news, here's a live look at your 401k. Democratic leadership unveils their latest plan to fight Trump and Elon.
Hello?
On Amber's team tonight, you know him from Around the Horn, Highly Questionable, and his podcast, The Right Time with Bomani Jones. And we want to thank him for being here because he's stepping in for an injured Kyrie Irving. It's Bomani Jones. And joining Michael tonight, he is a very, very funny comedian who has written for Saturday Night Live, and his new special, Instant Karma, drops April 1st on Netflix. Check it out when it autoplays a millisecond after you finish Love is Blind. It's my dog, Nimesh Patel. Let's do it. Let's get into the biggest stories of the week. Amber, Bomani, watch the clip and tell me what's the story.
Okay, so I'm driving. That's planes lately.
Yeah.
That's trains lately.
Yeah.
And that's the Titanic.
Yeah.
So everyone's losing money.
He's fucking up my money.
Yes. Regarding the U.S. economy, there's one word everybody's talking about, but nobody wants to say, what is that word regarding the economy?
Does it rhyme with Recession?
Here's the scary word.
I'm seeing a lot of people worried about a word that starts with R.
That big, nasty R word.
The dreaded R word, recession.
Now, what's President Trump saying about whether we're headed for a recession?
He ran on taming inflation and getting the already very good economy into a better position. And what he's done is the opposite of that.
Here's President Trump answering the question in an interview that aired on Sunday.
Are you expecting a recession this year?
I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition. It takes a little time.
You sound like we trying to explain to a girl why you can't go for round two. You know? Earlier this week, this happened.
Wall Street suffered its worst day of the year.
The Dow dropping nearly 500 points today, down more than 1,300 points in 2 days.
That's not that bad, right? That's not...
Lucky for me, all my money's in eggs, so I'm doing great.
Which of Trump's economic policies are being blamed for the current doom and gloom?
Oh, the part where he and his rich little friends take all our money?
But what was the policy that, like, how do you...
I'll explain the policy. Trump and his rich little friends take all our money.
I feel like...
Got it. Why didn't you say it like that? The answer is it's mostly inconsistency around Trump's tariffs.
It's like, you know, he puts the tariff in, he puts the tariff out, he puts the tariff in, he puts the tariff out, then he does the hokey pokey, and he turns us all around.
Tariff to the left, tariff to the right.
Hands on your knees, hands on your knees.
Everybody tariff wine.
Oh, we are black tonight.
Now, how's Trump's economic team defending the president's chaotic trade policies?
They're lying.
Here's Trump's Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick.
This fucking guy.
Will these policies be worth it if they lead to a recession, even a short-term recession?
These policies are the most important thing America has ever had.
Here's a fun fact from Friday to share at parties.
As of last night, more than $5 trillion in value had been wiped from the markets in just 3 weeks. More money than the GDP of every country on Earth, other than the U.S. and China.
We can lose more than most countries have? I feel great about that. We're number one, baby.
Question, what do you think the CEOs are going to do about all of this?
Absolutely nothing, which is what I would do if I were CEO. You gotta put yourself in the mind of a CEO.
Okay.
Like, who cares about poor people?
This is good leadership talk right here.
Listen, man, someone's got to be the voice of reason in this room right now.
Even though CEOs are reportedly feeling universal revulsion against Trump economic policies, a majority of CEOs said the stock market would have to fall another 20 to 30% before they take a stand.
Life is good.
Do they not own stocks?
I feel like money is their whole thing.
Eggs. They all have eggs.
What is it about CEOs that operate like that, Nimesh? Now, you, for real, legit, have a finance background.
And here I am. Everyone in the business world knew that this was going to happen. Everyone, like, for the first month after November, everyone's like, oh, stocks are going to go up. He's going to deregulate everything. Then they saw tariffs are going to take place. They're like, okay, let's put our money. Buffett put, what, $300 billion to the side.
Really?
And was just waiting, like, okay, when's this idiot going to do what we think he's going to do? And it's another 20, 30%. Plow all your money in and just sit and coast. Until then, eggs.
Here's CNBC's senior economic reporter with his thoughts.
I'm going to say this at risk of my job, Kelly, but what President Trump is doing is insane. It is absolutely insane.
Well, and we could go into the strategy of the insanity as a strategy in terms of our trading.
Insanity's not a strategy. I'm sorry.
Insanity's not a strategy. Everything's fine. Insanity's not a strategy. Excuse me 1 second. On Thursday, Trump dropped his latest trade bomb on our friends across the pond.
The president says he will put a 200% tariff on wine, champagne, and other alcoholic products from the European Union.
That is in retaliation to a 50% tariff that the EU put on U.S. whiskey.
And hitting all of us who enjoy a nice glass of Italian wine or French champagne.
You better not wake up them wine mamas.
As long as he doesn't touch my Canadian-made fentanyl, I'm fine.
Question. What were the latest shots fired in the trade war Trump started with our neighbors to the north?
I heard Justin Trudeau threaten to go in blackface again.
That did happen.
After Trump slapped new levies on Canadian steel and aluminum, the Canadian government slapped back with retaliatory tariffs on $29.8 billion worth of American goods. Here's Canada's finance minister.
But let me be clear. This is not something that we want to do. This is not something that we like to do. But it's something that, unfortunately, we are being forced to do.
That's the same shit your mama say before you give you a whooping.
That was the cutest accent I have ever heard. I have no idea what that meant. Why you? So cute.
Trump gave Canada a fair and surefire way to end this tariff war and the trade war. What was Trump's offer to Canada?
He said he'll stop it if they give us 50% of everything they own.
No, that was Ukraine.
Oh, sorry.
You got it half right. We will get rid of the tariffs if you give us 100% of everything you own and become the 51st state.
Trump said Canada can end the trade war by becoming our 51st state. That is true. But here's his logic. This is his logic.
It makes a lot of sense. And by the way, when you take away that artificial line that looks like it was done with a ruler, and that's what it was. Some guy sat there years ago and they said, rah. Well, when you take away that and you look at that beautiful formation of Canada and the United States.
Am I the only person to notice that Trump was like Canada, and then he did this?
You're like, Canada got a Coke bottle by it.
All that syrup goes somewhere.
Angry Canadians have been booing the America's national anthem at sporting events, yes, and they've been boycotting American products, yes, but nothing hits harder than what they're doing now.
At first we were afraid, we were petrified.
Oh, yes, they did.
You're not so great. There's not a snowball's chance in hell we'll be your 51st state.
I would rather war. All right, Michael and Nimesh.
Yes.
Watch the clip and tell me what's the story.
All right. Oh, there's two monkeys. Now there's two more monkeys. The White House. We've got
used car dealership.
Okay, I got it. The Tesla Toyotathon that took place on the White House lawn this week.
According to the president, it's pronounced Tesla.
Ah, Tesla.
The story is Trump and Elon's codependent relationship. Who's the real president? Who's benefiting who? And what do they have to do to get you behind the wheel of a brand new Tesla right now?
When I saw this, I was thrilled because this is what I wanted. Like, we knew the Trump presidency was going to be bad, but we also knew some hilarious shit was going to be. This is the shit I was after. Bring a bunch of Teslas to the White House and hawk them. That rules. It rules.
Am I crazy, or isn't it illegal for government employees to hawk their own shit on the White House lawn?
Look, Elon's not even the head of Doge, just the lady that's down in Mexico.
Right. To me, it's wrong. I wouldn't use this platform to advertise my honey-baked hams, which are delicious, but I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
On Monday, the company's shares fell 15%, meaning the company has now lost over $800 billion in the last 3 months. The losses are finally starting to get under Elon's skin. Here he is talking to Larry Kudlow.
You giving up your other stuff? I mean, how are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty. Yeah.
That is a band like discovering self-awareness in real time. And every man has done the eyebrow. People are protesting Tesla dealerships. How have Republicans been reacting to all of this?
Well, you know, Republicans love electric vehicles.
Here's the pride of CNN, Scott Jennings, on the topic.
Elon Musk currently holds a position of trust in our government. He is a top advisor to the President of the United States, and there's clearly a bunch of people out there who are targeting him and his products specifically. If that's not terrorism, I'm not sure what is.
And you must not be sure what is terrorism.
But if I don't want to buy a Tesla, that's terrorism?
Yes.
Oh, I'm a terrorist. Oh, that's nice. I really grew up to be something.
As a terrorist, I find it very offensive. They call this terrorism. I remember when terrorism took some balls. All right? It's nonsense.
All right, question. Who can tell me what happened this week that might get in the way of Doge's never-ending fire fest?
Someone stands up to them?
Let's hear it.
Breaking news, a federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to reinstate probationary workers let go in mass firings across multiple agencies.
Yeah, that's right. U.S. District Judge William Alsup, who looks like a teacher that made you fall in love with poetry, Alsup laid down the law and took back some pink slips in a ruling saying the Departments of Veterans Affairs, Agriculture, Defense, Energy, Interior, and Treasury all have to rehire employees fired by Doge. In the ruling, Alsup wrote, quote, "It's a sad day when our government would fire some good employees and say it was based on performance, when they know good and well that's a lie." And he called the firings, quote, "a sham."
I mean, it's refreshing to hear someone speak articulately about what's going on in the world.
You're just going to make an actual... You're going to make an actual earnest point?
I mean, I haven't heard anything.
This is not the show for that, Nimesh.
It's just like it's so refreshing to hear something like, you know, what's happening is bad and it needs to stop. That hasn't been said in the last 4 months.
Pretty much every Democrat stood up to Doge except Chuck Schumer.
Oh.
It was a wild week. I'm gonna let y'all get it out your system. It was a wild week for old Chuck. On Wednesday, he declared that Democrats would vote no on the Republican funding bill, even if it caused a shutdown.
Republicans are calling it the Schumer shutdown.
A Schumer shutdown.
The Schumer shutdown.
The Schumer shutdown is going to be owned by Chuck Schumer.
Who stopped the Schumer shutdown?
I have a guess. Was it Chuck Schumer?
Chuck Schumer himself, who Thursday night broke with his party and decided he would be supporting the Republican spending bill after all. Here's the Schumernator.
The potential for a shutdown has consequences for America. Therefore, I will vote to keep the government open and not shut it down.
It was President Trump who posted, quote, "Congratulations to Chuck Schumer for doing the right thing. Took guts and courage."
That would be so heated.
What is it you all think Trump wants from his relationship with Elon?
Money.
Money.
Human connection. Elon has 14 children. He still never felt love.
Here's one theory on what Trump wants from Elon from Fox News.
Good news for Donald Trump is if something does go wrong, just blame Elon Musk and don't take any responsibility.
Yeah, that's probably right. Kevin Cork, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, Jason nailed it. It's the best of all worlds. You maybe save some money along the way. If it doesn't go so hot, you have the perfect fall guy. But I'll say this, I love it for this country.
Now, when you work at Fox, the makeup ladies are white. And the reason why we can tell that is how that man looked.
That was...
They should not have done that to that man.
Yeah. That's Justin Trudeau.
We'll be right back.